In this video, I want to talk all about the Xbox Series X in 2025, if it is worth playing, and if it is worth it for you. The Xbox Series X, man, my story with the Xbox goes far before the Xbox Series X. Back in 2006 or 2005, we had the original Xbox, and I used to go to this sports club and play this original Xbox. We used to play games such as Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, Burnout, maybe Time Splitters, for example, a little bit of Halo, for example, as well. So that's how far back we go with Xbox. So back then, I mainly played PlayStation 2. Then we get to the Xbox 360 era. That's when I really got into Xbox. Maybe 2013 when I started playing Skyrim, for example. And Skyrim was like a game changer for myself. The Xbox 360 was a lot more affordable than the PlayStation 3, so that's why I went with Xbox 360. And I played Skyrim for hours and hours. It was the best game I ever played, game changing for me because it was an open world, for example. And I loved like the Xbox 360 layout, for example. I didn't really use like the online connectivity, even though the Xbox 360 was mainly for like online connectivity and community building, for example. I got fully into the Xbox 360 in that era and played a lot of FIFA Street, for example, as well. And then I sort of skipped over the Xbox One era because in the last 10 years I sort of went more towards Nintendo. I then, in 2022, got myself the Xbox Series X because that was the one that was available to me. Now, this console actually was quite impressive when I first got it. The first game that I really enjoyed on it was Forza 5. That game was the game that really took me into the Xbox world with the newest generation that I really enjoyed. And I really enjoyed Forza 5, just roaming around. It was genuinely really fun. Forza Motorsport came out as well, and I highly enjoyed it as well. I thought the graphics were actually quite incredible. And in terms of racing, like I feel like the Xbox is actually quite ahead from PlayStation. If you get a racing wheel for the Xbox Series X, oh man, you build like a good racing rig, game changing. It will be so much fun. Even for flight simulation, like the flight simulator on the Xbox is really good and it's the only one of its kind. So if you get one of those flight simulation setups, then the Xbox is perfect. That's where I see Xbox really shining, is for that driving and racing flight simulation setups, for example. So with the Game Pass, what really stood out to me was that you could try things, and if you don't like it, you could delete it. And I found a whole bunch of games that I really enjoyed. For example, Atomic Heart. Like I never tried Atomic Heart before, and then I tried it on the Xbox Series X, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I also got into Elden Ring because of the Xbox Series X. Other things that stand out to me is like you get those day one games in the Game Pass. So for example, like you've got the brand new Indiana Jones and you can give it a go. And if you don't like it, you could delete it, for example. The Game Pass really stands out to me as something where you could try games. If you don't like it, you could delete it, but you've still got a really good service with the Game Pass. It's just one of the best services in terms of subscriptions, in terms of gaming models at the moment. So with PlayStation, they've got the PlayStation Plus, but it's a little bit more expensive than the Game Pass. And I feel like the Game Pass just offers a little bit more than the PlayStation Plus subscription. For example, like you've got those day one edition games, you've got almost full backwards compatibility with a lot of games. And they're still updating that list and expanding on that list. So it does have a huge pro for getting the Xbox because you have all those day one editions of all these games that you've never tried or played before. Yeah, it just saves a lot of money actually in the end. The Xbox Series X is great because it offers the full-fledged power of having the 120 FPS capabilities, 4K up to 8K capabilities, but it has the Game Pass to be able to really utilize that library. And in terms of the exclusives as well with the Xbox, they're on the Game Pass as well. So as soon as you subscribe, you straight away, you get Starfield, for example, if that's your cup of tea. And you get other games as well, like Forza, you get the Flight Simulator, you get Ori, the Will and the Wisps, which I really enjoyed as well. And yeah, you just get an expansive library of games. You also get backwards compatibility as well with the Xbox Series X. So even with discs, you can use like original Xbox game discs or Xbox 360 discs and plug it into your Xbox and it works. So that's a huge pro as well. So since 2022, I've had this Xbox and there's been almost zero issues with the console. With the PlayStation, I found like the noise of the fan is picking up and it slows down a little bit. Whereas with the Xbox Series X, I've had relatively no issues. It's a pretty robust design. It comes with a stand at the bottom as well. It's basically just like a brick, like nothing is gonna happen to this thing. Like it is solid. In terms of the design as well, it's very robust. It's got stands on this side as well. I've got a few scratches actually on this model, so a few scratches down here and a few scratches up the top, but overall, it's pretty nicely built. In terms of the controller, I've got a few scratches, but overall, people love the design of the Xbox controller. For example, that joystick is right there, for example. So there's a nice upgrade, and of course, you got the Elite Series 2, which everyone loves. You got those back paddles, they're all metallic, and the Elite Series 2, man. Everyone loves the Elite Series 2. The Xbox is really for those people that grew up playing Halo because you have that backwards compatibility with Halo, Gears of War, for example, as well, like a lot of those previous exclusives as well. I find the Xbox is really good. If you grew up playing those games, you also want to revisit those games, but you want to play in 4K, 120 frames per second, for example. Because also with like the last gen, with the Xbox One era, they've actually upscaled a few of these games. So you could play it in 4K, 120 frames per second as well. So they've really updated a lot of that library, which is just fantastic. You can play all your previous gen games and play the latest games. So if you have a bit of nostalgia, then you can actually get the Xbox Game Pass and revisit all your favorite games again, add it to your library, but also play a lot of your cross-compatible brand new games and also play a few other games that are exclusive to the new gen as well. In terms of general gameplay as well, there's a few advantages. The quick resume just allows you to jump straight in where you last were in the game. If I've jumped out of the game, like I can quickly go back in, and it's a lot faster in terms of just getting straight into gameplay. And that's a huge advantage as well with the software of the Xbox Series X. So there's a few different models now. So they've got the white edition of the Xbox Series X, which doesn't have a disk drive, but they've also got the 2TB model now, which does have a disk drive. So that's pretty good that you have the addition of a 2TB model now. But for this one, they've always got the storage expansion card. You just plug it in and it'll most likely work straight away. So overall, I do like the Xbox Series X, and I wish I played it a little bit more last year, but I didn't play it as much. I love the Xbox Series X for certain things, as I've mentioned in this video already. So let me know your favorite thing about the Xbox Series X. If you find it still worth it in 2025 and beyond, let me know.